Hello again, and thank you for joining us at the First Baptist Church of Camado. I am Pastor Rusty, and here with today's video. Getting started a little late today. Actually, we went out and did some hiking. I got to take in some of the splendor of God's creation, and really today's video is short, believe it or not. Those of you that know me um, know I can be long-winded. Most of the videos that I've made so far, I planned on being around 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and as you can see, they're running around 20. But today's a little bit different. I just have one verse, and yeah, here we go. Psalm 19:1 says this: "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork." Everywhere we look, everywhere in God's creation, we see the hands of God in all of his creation. You look at the rivers, you look at the mighty mountains, you look at the forests, all the different animals that we get to enjoy, and I'll get all the diversity around the world. And I love being out in nature, and I love being out here in New Mexico because one of the things you get to see out here in New Mexico is the open skies. You can see them in Texas, but here is just something special to me. They call it the land of enchantment for a reason, and the longer you're here, the more I think you see why they call it that, and it's just amazing to be able to go out into the woods or to go out into a field and be able to just, especially in the fields or up on a mountain, you just see for miles. And I love watching the storms roll in because you can literally be on one mountain watching over on another mountainside, and it's just getting hammered with a storm, lightning and wind and everything. And you're just sitting there in the sunshine enjoying it and watching it all unfold. And I think how beautiful that is to think about how every one of us is God's handiwork. Every one of us has his fingerprint on us where he made us. The Bible says, while you're yet in the womb, I knew you, I formed you. And he has a purpose and a plan for us. We're far more important than any other creature ever made by him. Everything was spoken into existence by God. But we are a special creation. We're a work of art. He took the time to mold us out of the clay. And then he didn't just speak us into life, he breathed life into us. And it's just a wonderful thing to think about. And to go out and experience nature and to see, we went out to the lava flow and got to walk out on the old volcanic rock and see the trails. And it's just amazing to me to think of all the diversity in the world. When you go to different lands, you can travel the seven seas. You can climb peaks and mountains and hills and valleys, and you got swampland, and you got the down in the bayou. You get down in the deltas, and you can go into some place like Hawaii, where it's beautiful and lush, and they're just little volcanic islands, that are constantly coming and going, and it's just so amazing to think about what God put into that and how it's all for us. It's all for us to enjoy and all for us to experience. And this is a sin cursed earth. The beauty is just going to pale in comparison to what's to come. The new heaven, new earth. And it's something basic. And that's why if you look behind me, you notice a different background. This is Miss Stephanie's Sunday school room. This is her classroom, and it's going to be changing a little bit. She has some ideas for decorating, and I thought it'd be good to come in here and share this video because this basic principle of God of just everything that you see is his handiwork. And I always talk about, I have a favorite artist, Degas. I love Degas' work, his pastel work, his bronze statues. He did a lot of work with the ballet, and to see the detail that he puts into it, and you can tell it was something that interested him, and you can tell Degas, once you get to know an artist, you can tell his work from other works. Well, everything's God's work. All of nature decries that. The heavens, the sun and moon were put there for a reason, and Genesis tells us that. And so I encourage you to get out there and see it. experience life. And you don't have to go far. All you have to do is go out to your backyard. Those back east that have grass, you can go out and pick up a blade of grass and look at the fine details. When you get a microscope out, get a spyglass out, and take a good long look at it and see all the different details, the fiber of it. Look at a leaf during summer, and you can almost see the photosynthesis taking place. You see the little green chlorophyll passing through the veins of the leaf. And it's just amazing to think about what God put into the details. And yet, we are more important than all of that. Isn't that amazing, folks? Well, I thank you again. I promised this to be a short video, and it is. That's all I have. But just experiencing God everywhere we turn, folks. Be well, take care of one another, and stay safe until next time. Thank you for joining me.